Hello everyone, my name is Saranjeet Kaur Bhogal. It gives me immense pleasure to present the work on the Art Development Guide at this platform. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of Latin Art for setting up this wonderful conference and inviting me over here. I especially thank Janina for guiding me and encouraging me to present this talk. She has been very helpful with any queries that I had while preparing and also helped with the Spanish translation of this talk. Thanks a lot, Janina. I appreciate all your efforts very much. A bit about myself. I'm a statistician by training and I'm based in India. Recently, I have started learning about open science and open source work. Both are very broad areas, and I'm understanding them better by participating in community work during my free time. Earlier this year, I also got opportunities to present my work at the USAR 2021 conference and at JuliaCon 2021. About this talk, I have divided this talk on the Art Development Guide into three parts as motivation, first draft, and the way forward. Each of these three parts highlights significant phases around the Art Guide work. In this talk, I will interchangeably use the terms Art Development Guide and Art Guide. So whenever you hear those, I am referring to the Art Development Guide. The first part of this talk is about how we got motivated to write this guide. It began after USAR 2020. There was a discussion on the Our Ladies Slack about writing a beginner-friendly guide for contributing to the R project. Inspired by reading this discussion, I tried to explore it further. Through the Forwards Twitter, I expressed my interest to write a proposal for starting the development on this guide. Eventually, I got in touch with Heather Turner and asked her if we could write a funded proposal for such a guide. Heather was very prompt in helping me with the further steps of coming up with a proposal. After the proposal was ready, we were looking to find a funding source. Heather suggested that we could present it to the R Foundation. Fortunately, the R Foundation agreed to provide a stipend for working on this project. Heather Turner and Michael Lawrence agreed to be my mentors for this project. I worked to create the first draft of the RDEV guide from February to May 2021. During the same time, the R Contribution Working Group was formed. The R Contribution Working Group is a collaboration between our core, our community groups, including Forwards, the R Community Diversity and Inclusion Working Group, Our Ladies, My R, and members of the wider R community. Its aim is to encourage new contributors to our core with a focus on diversity and inclusion. If you follow the link shared on this slide, you will be directed to the website of the R Contribution Working Group. On this website, you will get more ideas about the working group and also about how you could get involved with it. If you follow the Get Involved section on the same link, there is information about the Art Devil Slack and how you can join the Slack. Several members of the working group are on the Art Devil Slack, and this is another space for discussing issues relevant to outreach. If you are interested in learning, participating, and knowing more about the Art Contribution Working Group, I would recommend that you join the Art Devil Slack and explore the various channels on it. Also, check the current work section on the same link. The Art Contribution Working Group conducts a monthly meeting and the current work section provides details about the same. Anyone from the R community that supports the objectives of the R contribution working group is welcome to attend these meetings, even if you only attend to listen. From my personal experience, I have learned a lot by attending these meetings. So please do join these meetings. To further know the details of these meetings, refer the current work section on the link shared on this slide. That was the first part of this talk. Now we move on to the second part. The second part is about how the first draft of our dev guide came into existence, what resources were used for writing it, where it is hosted, and what are the major contents and sections of the RDev guide. I would like to share that the various sections of the first draft of the RDev guide are inspired from many official documentations, articles, blogs, and manuals about R. Most of these sources are dispersed and not easy to navigate for a newcomer. Hence, we have tried to summarize most of them in the RDev guide. The RDev guide source code is hosted on the forwards RDev guide GitHub repository, and it is compiled as the RDev guide, which you can find at https://forwards/forwards/rdevguide/. We have written and built the RDev guide using the R package Bookdown. The format and structure of the chapters and sections in this guide are highly influenced by the Python Developers Guide. We will now discuss some of the major contents of this guide. To begin with, there is a Getting Started chapter. In this chapter, we describe the instructions on how to install R. We also discuss the tools required to build R and R packages on the Windows operating system. If you want to build R and R packages on Windows, then you will need to install R tools and a distribution of LaTeX. The Getting Started chapter provides resources and details of this entire process. Next, in the same chapter, we mention the three main releases of R that are available for installation. The official release called as R release, the patched release called as R patched, and the development release called as RDevel. The next major chapters are on bug tracking, bug reporting, and reviewing bugs. It is emphasized in these chapters that not all issues are bugs, and you could distinguish between what is a bug and what might not be a bug in R. For instance, at times your code might be doing something unexpected, and it may not necessarily be a bug. In these chapters, such points are highlighted, and also some ideas are shared as to what you could possibly do in these situations. Once you have confirmed that there is a bug, the next step is to check if it is already reported. If you are confirmed that a bug exists, then you should report it to the bug tracker, which is Bugzilla. For reporting a bug on Bugzilla, you need to create an account on it. To get a Bugzilla account, please send an email to bug-report-request@r-project.org and briefly explain why you need an account. Use the same email address that you want to use as your login for sending this email. Bugs may be present anywhere in the code or in the documentation or both of either the R core supported packages or in the packages that are not supported by R core. Once you have confirmed a bug, you should write a good bug report. In that report, you should provide a minimal reproducible example, mention the software architecture, and if required, use inbuilt datasets as far as possible. You could also help by reviewing the numerous bug reports already present on Bugzilla. Use the advanced search option if you want to find reports on specific topics. You could check if the bug reported is reproducible or not. If the steps to reproduce it are not mentioned, you could help provide those. You could also check if the information like the machine architecture, version of R, and the operating system on which the bug occurred is provided or not. If not, please add it. A review of older bug reports might lead to fixing the bug sooner. The next major chapter of the RDev guide is life cycle of a patch. Now, you might be wondering, what is a patch? So a patch is essentially the set of differences, that is either additions or deletions or both, between two versions of code, the original version and your proposed version to fix the bug. Suppose you come across a bug in R and you have an idea of how to fix it. This is a situation where you could possibly submit a patch. Follow the guidelines for making good patches mentioned in this chapter. Whenever possible, it is a good idea to get your patch reviewed before submitting. To get feedback and reviews on your patches, I would recommend joining the Patches for Review channel on the RDev Slack. You can request a review on your patch on this channel. While doing so, please be respectful of the time of the reviewers, as they are doing this on a volunteer basis. Also, whenever possible, please help by reviewing patches already submitted on Bugzilla. In the RDev guide, we have also written a chapter on where to get help on various topics that might possibly crop up as you do this process or as you do this work. There is a list of RDev Slack channels in this chapter and also a list of various official mailing lists. We have created several channels on the RDev Slack, like the Bug Reports for Review channel, the Core Dev Help channel, the Core Documentation channel, the Core Translation channel, and the Patches for Review channel. You can use these channels for getting help around the issues that you face during the R development process. To get to know the latest news and announcements about the R project, you can follow various official sources. Links to these sources are provided in a chapter of the RDev guide. Some of these sources include the R Journal, a public blog, conferences page, the official mailing list, the Twitter handle of the R Foundation. Those are the major chapters and sections of the RDev guide. I will now speak about the third part of this talk, which is the way forward for the RDev guide project. In this context, I feel very glad to share that our proposal, which is jointly written by myself and Heather Turner to work on the outreach of the R development guide and eventually build a community around this guide, has been selected for the Digital Infrastructure Incubator at Code for Science and Society. The Digital Infrastructure Incubator will hold space for and support the outreach of the RDev guide as we imagine possibility and design strategy. It feels very fortunate to be a part of this incubator. During this incubator, we are designing strategies to build community around the RDev guide. It is very crucial to receive the support of the incubator, as often such work is not much recognized. Through the activities in this incubator, our aim will be to connect with the communities that are currently underrepresented in the art project. This will be a space to look out for as we plan to announce these activities soon. Simultaneously, we will be improving the RDev guide format and structure based on the feedback received from the communities and people who participate in our activities, which involve the use of the RDev guide. We realize that building a community around the RDev guide is a long process. However, we have started taking small steps in that direction now. We hope to eventually make the art project sustainable to some extent through this work. Another point that I want to highlight here is that you can make your contributions to the RDev guide itself, like suggesting typo corrections, requesting features, adding sections, and so on. The How to Contribute section of the RDev guide provides the necessary details. To be able to edit this guide, you need to have a GitHub account. After you log in to GitHub, click on the edit icon highlighted with the red ellipse in this image. It will take you to an editable version of the source R Markdown file that generated the page you are on, and you can suggest your edits there. To raise an issue about the guide's content or make a feature request, use the issue tracker on GitHub. We request all the maintainers and contributors to follow the code of conduct while contributing to the R development guide. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time and patience in listening to me. Beyond this conference, I am reachable at my email address, GitHub, or Twitter account. I'm open to questions now.